Hi everyone, my name is Sarah and welcome to my channel. And today I'm going to be bringing you my 2022 reading goals. So first of all, where have I been? It's been a rough few months for me. I was incredibly busy with work. I hit a pretty steep mental health decline. I'm on my way out of it, which is good. But that's all I kind of want to say on that topic. But I kept meaning to come back to BookTube. I had started a couple of different videos. I had started a couple of different reading things. I had still been reading slowly, but I just didn't really have honestly, I really didn't have the energy to do anything else but just read. I didn't even update my Goodreads. I just couldn't do anything. But I had been thinking about things I want to do for next year, 2022, and so I've been kind of compiling a couple of different things, and I'm going to bring those to you today. The first thing that is my biggest goal for 2022 is to read a lot more of the books that I already currently own, to get through some of the backlog books, to start reading and completing more series. There's just a lot of things that I want to read. I just have to actually make the effort and make it a priority. So that's kind of my goal number one. I do have the Witcher series I want to read and complete. I actually want to start the Realm of the Elderling because I have tried to read Assassin's Apprentice about 3 times by this point, and I really want to actually read it. The Wheel of Time series is a series that I've been meaning to read for way too long. I thought about starting it in January. However, I know that I am very much the type of person where I will basically put 100 things on my task list and realize at the end of the day I can really only get through 8 things, so I don't know why I keep adding more and more. So this might be something I come back to halfway through the year and maybe post something on my Instagram to see if anyone wants to do a read along. So the other thing that I want to do is sort of author taste tests, which sort of are going to go hand in hand with my BookTube Darling series, which I've done 1 or 2 books for. It's fine, don't worry about it. Where I want to read a selection from some authors that I've read before or haven't read before, and read a couple of books to see if this author is kind of for me. Or in the case of Riley Sager, for instance, I want to read the entire backlog of this author and then rank them, because I have just been in such a thriller mood lately, but I have not read a lot of Riley Sager books. So I feel like this is a good idea. Gillian Flynn is similar, where I've read Gone Girl and I've started Dark Spaces, what is it called? I'm holding it in my hand, I don't know why I'm looking elsewhere. Dark Places. I started it and then I just wasn't really into it, so I'm gonna try again. Taylor Jenkins Reid is another one. This was going to be a BookTube Darling book, but now I'm sort of at the stage where I don't know if it'll be a BookTube Darling or an entire author's read. We'll see. And then Sylvia Moreno Garcia is another one that I really want to read most of her backlog, because she is an author that seems to write in many different genres, and each of her books tend to have a different feel. So that sounds really fun and interesting. The only problem with this type of series is it wouldn't necessarily be a quick thing for me to read and film, because if you read too much from one author, you start to get a little bit overwhelmed potentially, or annoyed, or just oversaturated with this type of writing, and so you tend to back away. So I have to figure out a way to make that doable for me as a reader, and to film it and edit it without kind of at the end of it being well, I never want to read from this author again because I'm so oversaturated. So we'll see. And another thing I want to work on is reading through some of my favorite authors' backlogs. I say that Kurt Vonnegut, Elizabeth Gaskell, and Shirley Jackson are 3 of my favorite authors. I, however, have not read a lot from any of them. Shirley Jackson is who I've read the most from, and then Kurt Vonnegut. For Elizabeth Gaskell, I've literally only ever read North and South, but I have read it multiple times because I consider it one of my favorite books of all time. So that's kind of another thing I'm planning to work on this year, is to read through some more of their backlogs to see if it is actually they're my favorite authors, or if I just like certain books by them. I think that'll be kind of fun. I have a lot of different like reading vlogs I want to do, fun themed reading things. I've got, like I said, a bunch of series I want to read and finish up, which I might try to do in reading vlogs. I have a lot of things I want to do while also making sure that I'm doing some reading off of like camera, if you will, where when you do reading vlogs, it just takes more time to read. You have to read on camera, you have to stop to give your thoughts, you have to edit, you have to do all these different things. And I want to make sure that I'm having a mix of books I'm reading on camera for reading vlogs and books that I am reading on my own for like a, you know, review later on, but not necessarily an on-camera vlog. Now, the last thing I have for this year, is this stack of books right here. We have Shakespeare for every day of the year, Year of Wonder, which is classical music to enjoy day by day, and Les Mis. Now, what do these three books have in common? These are the three books I'm going to be trying to read every day for the next year. Why? You know, just 'cause. Actually, this is a book I saw, I honestly don't remember when or where I saw it, but it was one that was like advertised to me. I think it was when I was really into classical music earlier in 2021, and you know, my phone's always listening, so it ended up advertising this particular book, which is basically every day you get a little devotional, I guess, but a little blurb about a particular piece of classical music, and then your kind of assignment is to go and read that piece, or listen to that piece of music. And I thought this would be a really, really fun way to kind of get more knowledge and into classical music as a genre. I find it really beautiful to listen to. I just don't know much about it. This Shakespeare book was just advertised as something you might also enjoy when I was picking up Year of Wonder, and I thought, you know what, I think I would enjoy this. So this one is kind of similar, where every day of the year you get some sort of introductory thing about this piece, and then either like a little piece of dialogue or a soliloquy. I think some of the sonnets are in here, maybe. I mean, I'll find out as I read it. So I think this will be something fun to do. And then the other thing, Les Mis, is this is a book that I've been trying to finish. As you can see, I've started it about a decade ago. And I stopped, and I can tell you I stopped at right here, Friends of the ABC. Because I really love the Barricade Boys, and I knew that once I started that, I would just be that much closer to the downfall, I suppose, of the Friends of the ABC. So I stopped reading it, and then I put it aside, and it's just been sitting there taunting me for a decade. And so this is the year I tackle it. And there is this idea that there's like 365 chapters in this book, and I thought doing it every day, even if I don't read a chapter every single day, I'll at least have some sort of guidepost of knowing generally kind of where I hope to be by the end of each month. So I'm hoping that keeps me on track. It makes it less overwhelming. It keeps me interested, because Victor Hugo, love the guy. He loves a good tangent, and I get it. He's paid by the word. You get your money, buddy. But it does kind of slow down a lot of the plot and the action and the character development when you take an 80-page detour, for instance, into the Parisian sewer system. You know, I'm pretty sure that's what happened. There's like 200, there's like a stuff about Waterloo. There's just a lot of different things. It is very beautifully written from what I remember, and I do really love the characters. I actually really find myself drawn to Javert as a character, specifically knowing how his story ends up. It's very, very interesting to read about him. This is one of my big goals for the year. Fingers crossed on that. But those are some of the goals I have for this year. I'm not sure. I'm trying to find things I'm excited about, things that are not going to be too overwhelming, things that can take more time, because I've been learning as a reader, I am not one that can do a week-long like reading vlog, in a sense of I can't read more than maybe 2 books per week, and it's a little bit difficult to, and also it kind of depends on the week of how my work is. Like, there's a lot of things that go into those things. So I'm trying to find ways to make it easier for me to do while not being overwhelming. And I think I have a pretty good mix of different things I'm going to be doing, different genres I'm going to be reading, series, standalones, all these different things. So I think this will be pretty fun, pretty doable. That's my hope anyways. Let me know down below what are some goals that you have for 2022, if we're going to be reading any of the same books, what your thoughts are. Thank you all so much for watching and sticking around, and I hope that you all have a fantastic day.